Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself. Who is there?
Long live the king.
Bernardo?
He?
You come most quietly upon your hour.
'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold and I'm sick of heart.
Have you had quiet, guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them now. Stand ho! Who is there?
Friends to this ground.
And liegemen to the Dane.
Give you good night.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you?
Bernardo hath my place. Give you good night.
Holla, Bernardo!
Say, what? Is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Ah, welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What? Has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him touching this dreaded sight twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us once again assail your ears to our story, which thou hast done this last 2 nights. What story did I believe this last 2 nights?
Well, sit we down. Let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yonder same star, that's westward from the pole, had made his course to illumine that part of heaven, which now burns Marcellus and myself, the drum beating one.
Peace! Break thee off! Look where it comes again!
Is it like the king that's dead?
Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio.
Looks not like the king. Mark it, Horatio.
Most like it harrows me with fear and wonder.
Question it, Horatio.
It would be spoke to.
What art thou that usurp this time of night together in that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven I charge thee, speak!
It is offended.
See, it stalks away.
Stay! Speak, I charge thee, speak!
'Tis gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What say you on it?
Before my God, I might not disbelieve without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself, such was the very cloak he used to wear. 'Tis strange.
Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour, with martial stalk hath he gone by our watch.
What particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange erosion to our state.
I think it be no other. But even so, that this portentous figure, like the king that was, comes armed through our watch.
A mote it is to trouble the mind's eye. They say that ere the mightiest Caesar fell, the graves stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets, as stars with trains of fire, or dews of blood, disasters in the sun, and the moist star upon whose influence Neptune's empire stands grew sick almost to doomsday with eclipse, and even the like. But soft, behold, lo, where it comes again. I'll cross it, though it blast me, stay, illusion. If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done that may to thee do ease, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, speak. Stop it, Marcellus.
Shall I strike at it with my partisan?
Do it if it will not stand.
'Tis here!
'Tis here!
'Tis gone. We do it wrong being so majestical to offer it the show of violence, for it is as the air, invulnerable, and our vain blows malicious mockery.
It was about to speak when the cock crew.
And then it started like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons. I have heard that the cock, with trumpet to the morn, doth with its lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day, and at his warning, whether in sea or fire, earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit ides to its confine, and the truth therein this present object made probation.
It faded on the crowing of the cock.
Aye. Look, the morn in russet mantle clad walks over the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For, on my life, the spirit dumb to us will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it, as needed in our loves, fitting our duty?
We will.
Let's do it, I pray. And this morning I know where we can find him most conveniently.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, have we as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along, for all our thanks. And now, Laertes, what's news with you? Thou told us of some suit. What wouldst thou beg that shall not be my offer, not thy asking? The hand is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave in favor to return to France, from whence so willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty at your coronation. Yet now I must confess that duty done, and my thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bow to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
Oh, he hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laborsome petition, and at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I beseech you, let him go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, spend thy best graces at thy will. But now my cousin Hamlet and my son.
A little more than kin and a little less than
How is it that
kind.
the clouds still hang on you?
Oh, not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Oh, good Hamlet, cast off thy nighted color. Let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lid seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, it is common.
Well, if it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam? Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone in my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath, nor fruitful river in the eye, together with all moods and forms and shapes of grief that can denote me truly, for these are actions that a man might play, and I've indeed the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these morning duties to your father, but you must know, your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you, to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in my best obey you, good madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Come, madam, this gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Come, away.
Oh, this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seems all the uses of the world to me. But 2 months dead? Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king and so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember, frailty, thy name is woman. 1 month a widow, and she married with my uncle, who is my father's brother, but no more like my father than I am to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears left flushing in her galled eyes, she married, with wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
Horatio, I am glad to see you well.
The same, my lord, your poor servant Devon.
Marcellus.
My good lord.
Good evening, sir. What brings you out in the daytime? We'll teach you to drink ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
Do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish the marriage tables. Whenever I have met that foe in heaven, Horatio, or seen that day. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him for all in all. I will never look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesterday.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father.
Season your admiration for a while, with an attent ear, while I may deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, in the dead fast and middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure, like your father, armed at point exactly, appeared before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately by them. Thrice had he walked by their oppressed and fear-surprised eyes within his truncheon's length, while they distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. This in dreadful secrecy impart to me they did, and I with them on the 3rd night held the watch, and I saw your father's ghost.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none.
Very strange.
Indeed, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we found it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, sirs. Hold you watch tonight.
We do, my
You
lord.
do? I will watch tonight. Perchance it will walk again.
I'll warrant it will.
Though I will speak to it, though hell itself should bid me hold my peace. If you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. Give it understanding, but no tongue. I will require your loves. Upon the platform, twixt 11 and 12, I will visit thee.
Our duty
I
to
will.
your honor.
I will.
Farewell. Farewell. My father's spirit in arms. I would doubt some foul play. Would the night were come.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell! And sister, let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
Well, for Hamlet, in the trifling of his favor, holdeth fashion in toy and blind. Perhaps he loves you now, but he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself. For on his choice depends the health and safety of this whole state. And then weigh what honor you lost may sustain if with 2 created ears you list his song, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure opens to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of shot and danger of desire.
I shall, the effect of this good lesson, keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whiles like a puffed and reckless libertine himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, not heeding his own advice.
No, fear me not, for I stay too long, but here my father comes.
Yet here, Laertes, for shame, aboard! This wind sits in the shoulder of your sails, and you are stayed for. farewell, and my blessing with thee, and these few precepts. In thy memory look thou character. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But dull not thy palm with entertainment of every newly hatched and unfledged comrade. Beware entrance to a quarrel. But, being in it, bear it that the opposed beware of thee. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take every man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy. Express not in fancy, rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man, and they in France, of the best rank and station, are most select and generous, chief at that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, but for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all. To thine own self be true. And it follows, as night the day, that thou canst not be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
I humbly do take my leave, my lord.
Time invites you. Your servants tend.
Farewell. And Ophelia, do you remember well what I tell you?
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Ah, marry well bethought. It hath been told me that the Lord Hamlet have oft of late given much private time to you, and you have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as would behoove my daughter and your honor. What is it between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection! Go to.
He hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springs to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood boils how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. Ophelia, from this time, be something scanter of your maiden presence. And for Lord Hamlet, do not believe his vows. Believe so much in him that he's a man and may with a larger tether walk than may be given you. Ophelia, from this time, I would not, in plain terms, have you so much slander a moment's leisure as to give words or talk to Lord Hamlet. Look to it. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
Very cold.
It's a nipping and eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lags 12. No, it is struck. Indeed, I heard it not. It then draws upon the season where the spirit held its wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord?
King doth wake tonight and takes his rouse. Keeps swagger and uprising reels, and as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, marry it is. But though I am native here and of the Matterborn, it is a custom more honored in breach than observance. This heavy-handed revel, east and west, they make us traduced and taxed of other nations. They call us drunkards, and with Swinish phrase, soil our edition. And indeed, it takes from our achievements. So oft it chances that in particular men, for with some vicious mole of nature in them, as in their birth, since nature cannot choose his origin, but often breaking down the pales and forts of reason by some overleavened complexion. Thus, they have the drama of
My lord, it comes.
angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or a goblin damned. Bring with thee heirs from heaven or bless from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. I will call thee Hamlet, father, royal Dane. What would thou dead corpse revisit us in the night, so horribly to shake our dispositions with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls? Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it, as if some apartment did desire to you alone.
Look, with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground. But do not go with it.
No, by no means.
If it will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear?
What if it tempt you toward the flood, my lord, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff, which beetles over its base into the sea, and there assumes some other horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it.
It waves me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord.
Unhand me.
Be ruled you shall not go.
Unhand me, gentlemen. I say away. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. Go on, I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to obey him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further. Mark me. I will.
My hour's almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas,
Pity
poor
me
ghost.
not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fires, so the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars start from their spheres, thy knotted and combined locks to part, and each particular hair to stand an end like quills upon the fretful porpentine. List, list, oh list!
God.
If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul.
Haste me to know it, that I, with wings as swift as meditation
Now,
or
Hamlet,
thoughts of love, may
here.
sweep to my revenge.
'Tis given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung thee. So the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know, thou noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
My prophetic soul, my uncle!
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts, all wicked witted gifts that have the power so to seduce, one to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there from me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand, even with the vow I made to her in marriage. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air, brief let me be. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always on the afternoon. Upon my secure hour thy uncle stole, with juice of cursed hemlock in a vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment, whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man, that, swift as quicksilver, it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body, and with a sudden vigor it doth curd the thin and wholesome blood. So did it mine. Thus was I, by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal couch of Denmark be a bed of damned luxury and incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this deed, act not against thy mother. Leave her to heaven, and to the thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the morning to be near and gins to pale his ineffectual fire. Adieu! Remember me.
Hold my heart. Remember thee, I, thou poor ghost, whilst memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee. Yea, from the table of my memory, I will wipe away all trivial fond records that youth and observance have copied there, and thy commandment alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain. Oh, most pernicious woman! Oh, villain, smiling, damned villain!
My lord. My lord.
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you will reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
My friends, it is an honest ghost that, let me tell you, for your desire to know what is between us, or master it as you may. And now, friends, as you are friends and scholars and soldiers, give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never make known of what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
Swear!
Oh, stout boy, art thou still there? You hear the fellow in the cellars. Consent to swear.
Swear!
Oppose the oath, my lord.
Never make known of what you have seen tonight. Swear by my dagger.
Swear.
Day and night, this is wondrous strange.
And as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven on earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, swear.
Swear by his dagger.
Rest, perturbed spirit. Gentlemen, let us go in together. I do commend my love to thee. Swear that, however strange or odd I may bear myself, as I may seek to put an antic disposition on, never reveal my madnesses but counterfeit. Agreed?
Agreed, my lord.
Let us go in together. This time is out of joint. O cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right.
My lord, I have been so affrighted.
Well, by what in the name of God?
Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled white as his shirt, his knees knocking together, and with a look so piteous and purpose as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard, and then drew he to the length of all his arm, and with a hand thus over his brow he fell to such a perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so, then raised a sigh so piteous and profound it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. And that done, he lets me go. And with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he navigated without their help, and to the last bended their light on me.
This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent properties fordoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings as much as any passion under heaven does afflict us. I'm sorry, Ophelia. What, have you given him hard words of late?
No, my lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
Then that has made him mad. Ophelia, I am sorry. I should have, with better heed and judgment, noted him. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, for if it were kept hid, could bring more grief upon us. Come, Ophelia.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? So I call it, since not the outer nor the inward man resembles what it was. What it should be more than his father's death that thus hath put him so much from the understanding of himself I cannot dream of. I entreat you both that, being of so young days brought up with him, that you draw him on to pleasures, and gather as much as from occasion you may glean, whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus. That, opened, lies within our remedy.
Good gentleman, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am, there are 2 men not living to whom he more adheres. So if it will please you thus to expend your time with us a while for the supply and profit of our hope, well, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dreaded pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
But we both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz, and I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
Polonius, good minister, what news?
I assure you, my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king.
Your drift, Polonius?
That I do think, or else this brain of mine hunts not the trail of policy so sure as it used to. I have found the very cause of Lord Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the head and source of all your son's distemper.
Well, I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death and our o'er hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift him. Proceed, dear counselor.
My madam and my liege, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day and night is night, time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is it but to be nothing else but mad? Let that go.
A little more matter with less art.
I swear, madam, I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis, foolish figure. Well, farewell it. I will use no art. Mad let us call him then. What remains is to find the cause of this effect, or rather say this defect. For this effect defective comes by cause, thus remains, and the remainder thus. Consider. I have a daughter. Have while she is mine. She, in her duty and obedience, mark you, hath given me this. Now, gather and surmise. To the celestial and most beautified that is a vile phrase, beautified. Is it ill phrased?
Wait, came this from Hamlet to her?
Stay a while, madam. I will be brief. To the celestial most beautified Ophelia, doubt that the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. O dear Ophelia, I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best, O most best, believe it, adieu, thine evermore, Hamlet.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable?
Even so, when I did see this hot love on the wing, To my young mistress I thus did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy star. This should not be. And I prescripts gave her to lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens. Having done, she took the fruits of my advice, but he repulsed. And a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, and then to a fast, and then into a watch, thence to a weakness, then to a lightness, by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves, and we all mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may well be very like.
Hath there been a time, I would fain know, when I had said positively 'tis so, and it proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Then take this from this if this prove otherwise.
But how can we prove this further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
Aye, so he does indeed.
At such a time, I will loose my daughter to him. You and I will behind the arras and mark their encounter. If he love her not, and be not made mad by her refusal, let me be no assistant for estate and just keep a farm and kettle.
We will try it.
Oh, look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Oh, I beseech you, give me leave. I will board him presently. Away. My noble Lord Hamlet, how goes it?
Well, God of mercy.
Do you know me?
Oh, excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I. He knows me not.
Have you a daughter?
I have.
Let her not walk too much in the sun. Conception is a blessing, friend, and as she may conceive, look to it.
How say you to that? Still harping on my daughter. He is far gone. Far gone. And yet, truly, in my youth, I suffered much extremity for love. Very near this. I will speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter?
Between who?
I mean the matter which you read.
Well, the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray hairs and that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes are purging amber and plum tree gum, all of which I most powerfully and potently believe. Yet, as you are to me, sir, and I am myself, if I was as honest as you, I could go backwards like a crab.
Though this be madness, there is method in it. I will leave him and suddenly contrive a meeting between he and my daughter. My most noble lord, I will humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot take anything from me which I will willingly part with all, except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Fare you well.
These tedious old fools.
My honored lord.
My most dear lord.
Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, my excellent good friends, how dost thee both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy. On Fortune's cap we are not the very button.
Nor the soles of her shoe.
Neither, my lord.
Then you live about her waist, or in the middle of her favors.
Faith, her private suite.
'Tis true she is a strumpet. But what news bring you?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Then doomsday is near, but your news is not true. Say, what on the hands of fortune does she bring you to this prison hither?
Prison, my lord?
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one?
A goodly one, where there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
To me, it is a prison.
Well, then your ambition makes it so. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
I could count myself in a nutshell and bounty myself a king of infinite space where I not have bad dreams. But tell me, in a very beaten way of friendship, what make you to Elsinore?
To visit with you, my lord. No other occasion.
Oh, beggar that I am poor in thanks, but I thank you. But out with it! Were you not sent for? Is it a free visitation? Is it of your own inclining? Come, nay, speak!
What shall we say, my lord?
That you were sent for, and there is a kind of craft in your looks that your modesties have not the ability to color. I know the king and queen have sent for you. What say you? If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
Then I will tell you why, so your anticipation prevent your discovery, and your service to the king and queen moult no feather. I have of late, but wherefore I know not lost all my mirth, forgone all customs of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me nothing but a sterile promontory. This brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, seems to me nothing but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how impressed and admirable, in action like an angel, in apprehension how like a god, the beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, yet it is to me the quintessence of dust. Man delights me not, nor women neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh when I said man delights me not?
Think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what compensation shall the players get from you?
The players? What players?
The traveling tragedians. Those you used to take such delight in.
Here they come now.
My friends, you are welcome in Elsinore. Come, your hands. My uncle father and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my lord?
That I am mad north-northwest, but when the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Well, be with you, sirs.
It comes to prophecy to tell me of the players. Mark it. Oh, 'twas a Monday morning, even so.
I have news to tell you, my lord.
I have news to tell you, my lord.
The players are arrived.
No!
By my honor.
They came each actor on his ass. My old friends, my excellent dear old friend. My friend, your face has changed since I have seen you last. My friends, come, give us a speech, a taste of your quality, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard a speech once, but it was never acted.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives, and every cat, every dog, every little mouse, every unworthy creature live here in heaven and may look upon her, but Romeo may not.
Look how he has not turned up his collar, and he has tears in his eyes. Prithee, no more.
'Tis well done, my lord. Let them be well used.
I will use them according to their desert.
God's bodykins, man, much better. Use every man after that their desert should escape whipping. The more merit they deserve, the more bounty they will receive. Take them in. My friends, you know how to play the Murder of Gonzago.
Aye, my lord.
Then we will have it tomorrow night. Oh, and you could, for a need, memorize a dumb show a few moments long, a mime, to perform tomorrow night, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
I will teach it to you later. Farewell, go with this fellow, and I pray you do not mock him.
Come, sir.
Gentlemen, farewell.
Good, my lord.
Now that I am alone, oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. It is but monstrous that this player here in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul to his own conceit. Tears in his eyes, his visage waned, and all for nothing. For Romeo? For what is he to Romeo, and Romeo to him? What would he do if he had the passion that I have? He would drown the stage in tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty, appall the free, confound the innocent, and amaze yet the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddied rascal, fresh like John a dreams, unpregnant to my cause, and can say nothing. For who would call me a villain? Breaks my pate, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose and gives me a lie in the lungs as deep as the throat. Swoons should I do, for I am pigeon-livered and lack gall. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have been so struck by the cunning of a scene that they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder that would have no tongue will speak with most miraculous organ. I will have these players play something like the murder of my father in front of my uncle. If he but blench, I'll know my course. The spirit that has speak to me, it may be the devil, for in my melancholy and sadness, as he is very potent with these two emotions, he may abuse me to damn me. The play is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
By no drift of circumstance, get from him why he puts on this confusion, grading so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause? He will by no means speak.
When we would bring him on to some confession of his true state, then with a crafty madness he keeps aloof.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
In his response, most free in his reply.
Well, did you interest him to any pastime?
Madam, it came upon us that certain players have come here to entertain. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a certain joy to hear of it. They are here about the court, and I think they have arranged this night to play before him.
It is indeed true. He did beseech me to entreat your majesties to see and hear the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge and drive his purpose onto these delights.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too. For we have closely sent for Hamlet hither that he, as 'twere by accident, may here affront Ophelia. Her father and myself will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him as he's behaved, if to be the affliction of his love or know that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do hope it be your good beauties that be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope that your virtues bring him to his wonted way again, to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here. And gracious, so please you, we'll bestow ourselves. Here, read the good book. This prayerful exercise may calm your upset. Is it not true, my king, that with pious action and devotion, we can hide our inner turmoil, even though the devil himself be in us?
Oh, 'tis true. How smart a lash this speech doth give my conscience. My deed lays hidden neath my painted words. Oh, heavy burden.
Who goes there?
I hear him. Let us this way.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles and, by opposing, end them. To die. To sleep. No more. And in that sleep we end the heartache and thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub, for in that sleep of death what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause, for there's a calamity that makes so long a life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time when he can take himself to his own rest with his own bodkin? Who would these burdens bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than to fly to those we know not of. Thus, conscience makes cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied over with the pale cast of thought. Soft you now. The fair Ophelia, nymph in thy orisons, be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have long longed to redeliver. I pray you now, receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of such sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost now. Take these again, for to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord,
Are you fair?
what means your lordship?
I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Thou shalt not be a breeder of sinners. I myself am indifferent honest, with such deeds that my mother wished she had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I have time to put them in, thoughts to give them shape or imagination. What should fellows as us do? We are arrant knaves all, believe none of us. Where's your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the door be shut upon him that he play the fool nowhere but his own house.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens.
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry, be they as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape the calumny. Get thee to a nunnery, go, and quickly too. I say we will have no more marriages.
Destroy him.
All that are married, all but one shall live, the rest shall remain as they are. To a nunnery, go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Oh, what a noble mind is here overthrown. The expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion, the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that most noble and sovereign reason like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh. That unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen, and see what I see.
Love? His affections do not this way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something o'er which his soul sits on his melancholy unbrewed, and I do fear the hatch in disclose will be some danger, which to prevent I have thus in quick determination set it down. He shall with speed to England. Haply the seas, and countries different with variable objects, shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brains, still beating, puts him thus from fashion of himself. What think you on't?
It shall do well. And yet, I still believe the origin and the commencement of his grief comes from neglected love. How now, Ophelia, you need not tell us anything he said. We heard it all. Do as you please. But if you hold fit after the play, have his queen mother entreat him alone to express his grief. I will, behind the arras, overhear their conversation. And if she find him not, then to England send him, or confine him wherever your will sees fit.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
My friends, speak the speech as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you were to mouth it as many of our players do, I would soon the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much thus, but use all gently, for in the very torrent and tempest, and may I say whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that give it smoothness. Be not too tame, neither, but let discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word, and the word to the action. All of which that you remember that you not overstep the modesty of your nature. For anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end was and is at first and now, as it were to hold a mirror up to nature. Go, make you ready.
Aye, my lord.
Horatio.
Yes, my lord, at your service.
There is a play tonight. One scene of it comes very near the circumstance which I have told thee of thy father's death. I pray you, when you seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe my uncle. If his occulted grief do not unkennel itself, then it is a damned ghost that we have seen. Observe the king. Will mine eyes do rivet to his face, and afterwards we will both our judgments join.
Very well, my lord.
Get you a place. They are coming to the play. I must be idle.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Oh, excellent in faith. I eat the air promise crab. Cornelian's dish, I cannot feed capons so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine neither.
Dear Hamlet, come sit by me.
Here's metal more attractive, mother. Lady, may I lie in your lap?
No.
Mark that!
My lord, no.
I mean my head on your lap.
You are married, my lord.
Who, I?
I, my lord.
Well, what's a man to do but be merry? For look how merry my mother is, and my father's been dead not 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord. For us and for us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
What means this, my lord?
Oh, it means mischief.
Faith! I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operative powers and their functions here to do. But I must leave this fair world behind. Happy, beloved, honored, one as a kind. For husband shalt thou.
Oh, confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. When second husband let me be accursed, none wed the second, but who killed the first. The instances of second marriage moved are base respects of love, but not of love. A second time I killed my husband dead. When second husband kisses me in bed.
I do believe you think what oft you speak, but where in beguile often do we break. For this world is not for ours, nor country 'tis not so. Our fortunes seem to strange. So take no second husband wed, when thy first husband is dead.
From here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once a widow, ever I be wife.
Ah, 'tis deeply sworn. Sweet! Leave me here a while, and I fain often would beguile this tedious day with sleep.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Madam, how do you like this play?
Well, the lady doth protest too much, methinks.
What do you call this play?
The Mousetrap. 'Tis a knavish piece of work, but what of it? Those that have free souls, it touches us not.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in't?
No, they do but jest. Poison in jest. No offense in the world. Here comes the villain, cousin to the king.
You are as good as a chorus, my lord.
Thoughts black, hands apt, drugs fit and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seeing. Thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's band thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property on wholesome life usurp immediately.
Excellent! You will see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises.
What, frightened with false fire?
How fares my lord?
Stay, mother! The end is near. Oh!
No, I'll see no more.
Give over the play. Give over the play.
Lights! Out lights! Horatio, didst thou perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Upon talk of the poisoning.
I did very well note.
It's an honest ghost, my friend.
Good my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The king, sir, is in his retirement.
What of him?
Is in his retirement, marvelous distemper.
With drink, sir.
No, my lord, rather with choler.
I've collared him, you say.
Good my lord, put your discourse into some frame, and start not so wildly from our affair.
I am tame, sirs, pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, has sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, my good lord, if it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
I cannot
What, my lord?
make you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But my mother, you say.
Then thus she says your behavior had struck her into admiration and amazement.
How wonderful a son that he can so astonish a mother, but is there no sequel at the heels of her admiration? Impart.
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
Then we shall go where she not 10 times our mother. Have you any further business with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
And still do by these pickers and stealers.
My lord, what is the cause of your distemper? You surely bar the door on your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be when you are the Crown Prince of Denmark?
Ah, some music. Come, the recorders, come. Let me see that. My friend, would you play upon this pipe?
Sir, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
It's as easy as lying. Govern these fingers with your thumbs and these holes, and it will discourse most eloquent music.
These cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
How unworthy a thing you would make of me. You would seem to play me, you would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass, and there is most excellent music in this little voice. But you can call me whatever instrument you want, though. You can fret me, you cannot play me. Oh, God bless you, sir.
Your queen mother would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud almost in the shape of a camel?
By the mass, it is very like a camel.
Or like a weasel?
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale?
Very like a whale.
Then I will go by and by. I will go by and by.
I will say so.
Well, by and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. Now it is the very witching time of night when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathed out contagion to this world. Now I could do such bitter business that the day would quake to look on. But soft to my mother. I will be cruel but not unnatural. I will speak daggers but use none. My tongue and my soul shall be hypocrites in this. But if tongue's words destroy her, so be it.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let this madness range. Therefore prepare you that he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazard so near us as doth hourly grow out of his lunacies.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that feed upon your majesty.
Never alone did the king sigh, but with a general groan.
Arm you, I pray you, to the speedy voyage, for we will fetters put upon this fear which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
Yes, your majesty.
My liege, he is going to his mother's closet. I will convey myself behind the arras and overhear their conversation. It is meet more audience than a mother whose a partial natures will contend. So farewell, my lord.
Thanks, dear my lord. My offense is rank, it smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon't. A brother's murder? Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Then my fault is past, I'll look up. But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I'm still possessed of the effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offense's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law, but 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled, even to the teeth and forehead of our faults, to give confession. Bow, stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well. Help me, angels!
Now I will do it, Pat. Now he is praying. Now I'll do it. So I am revenged. A villain kills my father, and I, his sole son, do send that same villain direct to heaven. So I am revenged. To take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and ready for his passage. No, up sword, when he is drunk, asleep, or in his rage at gaming or swearing or some act that has no relish of salvation in it. I will trip him so that his heels may kick in heaven and his heart be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes. My mother waits. Though prayers preserve you, they come too late.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight, madam. Look you. Lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace has screened and stood between much heat and him. I will silence myself, even here.
I warrant, fear me not.
Mother!
Oh, withdraw. I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what is the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Oh, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What is the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, you are your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Sit you down.
Oh.
You shall not bulge until I set you up a mirror where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help! 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 Help!
Help! For duck it dead!
I'm slain.
Oh me! What hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
rash and bloody deed this is.
A bloody deed, good mother, almost as bad as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king.
Aye, lady, those were my words. That wretched, rash, intruding fool. Take thee for thy better. Sit you down, for I will wring your heart. Well, it may be made of penetrable stuff.
What have I done, that thou darest wag thy tongue and noise so rude against me?
Such an act, good mother, that blurs the grace and blush of modesty.
I mean, what act?
Look here, upon this picture, upon this counterfeit presentment of two brothers. What grace did set upon his brow, Hyperion's curls, on eyes like Jove, a face like Mars to threaten and command, where as in every god did set his seal to say that this was a man. Now look what follows. This is your husband. Like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Can you not feed and batten on this moor? Have you eyes? For you cannot call it love. At your age, the heyday of love it's tame and it waits on judgment. And what judgment would come from this? What devil was it that had robbed you of your judgment? Oh shame, where is thy blush?
Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnst
but
mine
to
eyes
live
into
in
my
the
very
rank
soul.
and sweat of an enseamed bed, honeying and making love over thy nasty sty.
Speak no
A
more.
murderer
These words like
and
daggers.
a villain, a cutpurse of the empire and the rule, who stole from the shelf the precious item and put it in
No
his
more,
pocket.
sweet Hamlet. No more.
A king of shreds and patches. Save me and hover over me with your gracious figure. But what
Alas. He's mad.
is tardy son to chide, the very acting of your dread command?
Do not forget, this visitation is to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, Hamlet, amazement on thy mother sits. Speak to her.
How dost thou, good lady?
How is with you that stare at vacancy? Oh, gentle sun, upon the beat and flame of thy distemper, sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him! On him!
Of whom do you speak?
Do you see nothing there?
No, nothing at all.
Nor hear nothing neither.
Nothing but ourselves.
Look, my father, in the habit as he lived. Look, even now as he goes out of the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy? My pulse doth temperately keep time and make healthful music. Mother, for the love of grace, this is not madness. Lay not the flattering unction at thy soul. It is but skin and film, and do not spread compost on the weeds to make them rancor.
Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Then throw away the worser part of it and live with the purer half. Refrain tonight. Go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have not. And it will kind of lend an easiness to the next and the next easier so. For time can either stamp out the devil or throw him out with wondrous potency. Good night, mother, and when you're desirous to be best, I'll blessing beg of you. I will answer for the death I gave that man. Good night, mother. I must be cruel just to be kind. One more word, good lady.
What shall I do?
Never let the king know that my madness is but counterfeit.
Believe me, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must for England, you know that?
Alack, I had forgot it is so concluded on.
My two schoolfellows, who I trust as adders fanged, they hold the mandate. They must sweep me and marshal me to knavery. 'Tis the sport of it, for I will delve 1 yard below the petter and blow them to the moon. Good night, mother. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Indeed, the senator is still now. Good night.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate, 'tis fit we understand them.
Mine own lord, what I have seen tonight.
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind, when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit behind the arras, hearing something stir, he whips out his dagger, cries, a rat, and in this brainish apprehension, he kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed! It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all. To you yourself? To us? To everyone! Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us whose providence should have restrained this mad young man. But we so loved young Hamlet that we protected him. And like the owner of a foul disease, to keep it from divulging, let it feed even on the pith of life. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed.
Come, Gertrude, away. No sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. And this vile deed we must with all our majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern! Friends both, Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go, seek him out. Speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. Pray you hasten this.
We will haste this.
Oh, come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends and let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Come away, my soul is full of discord and dismay.
Safely stowed.
Lord Hamlet!
Lord Hamlet!
Hamlet!
What noise, sir? Here they come.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it to dust whereto 'tis kin.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is so we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
What, and be demanded by a sponge? What replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Yes, one who soaks up the king's countenance and his orders, and when he has gleaned what he can from you, sponge, he will wring you dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
Good! A knavish speech sleeps in foolish ears.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is, and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
Thing, my
of
lord?
nothing.
I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? How now, what hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot get it from him.
But where is he?
Without, my lord, guarded, to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us!
Ho! Guildenstern, bring in my lord!
Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius? At supper. At supper where?
Not where he is eating, but where he is eaten. A convocation of politic worms now.
Alas, alas!
A man may fish off that worm, and a king may eat of that fish.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing but to say that the guts of a king may pass through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither there to seek him. Seek him in the other place yourself. Or, in a month, you will nose him in the stair on the way to the lobby.
Go, seek him there.
He will stay till you come, gentlemen.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, this deed which thou hast done must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, the winded help, the associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So it is, if thou knewest our purposes.
Gentlemen, leave me.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My excellent good mother.
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not, I'll have him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done that else leans on the affair. Pray you make haste. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, as my great power may give thee sense, affect the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood, he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
Will it please you go, my lord?
I will be with you straight. Go on a little ahead. How all occasions do inform and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good market of his time is but to sleep and feed? He's a beast, no more. Sure, he gave us the capability of godlike reason to fuss in the unused. But how stand I with a father killed, a mother stained, and me with excitements of reason in my blood? From this time forth, my thoughts be bloody or nothing worth.
Oh, to my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each joy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt. It spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle, batten, staff, or his sandal shoe?
Sweet lady, what imports this song?
Said you? Nay, pray you mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his hands a grass-green turf, and at his heels a stone.
Hey, but Ophelia...
Pray you. Mark, white his shroud as the mountain snow, larded all with flowers which be wept to the grave, did not go with true love showers.
Look here, my lord.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God yield you. They say the owl was the baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you will have no words of this. But when they ask you for words, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning time, and I, a maid, at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and ducked the chamber door, which in a maid let out a maid. Never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia, how long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. I can't choose but weep to think that they would lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach, good night. Good night, sweet lady, good night. Good night.
This is the poison of deep grief. It all springs from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First, her father slain. Next, your son gone, and he most violent author of his own just remove. The people whispering of Polonius' death, and poor Ophelia divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures, are mere beasts. And last, her brother is come home from France, and he wants not buzzers to infect his ear with pestilent speeches of his father's death.
Alack, what noise is this?
Save yourself, my lord. The ocean overpeering in his list eats not the flats with impetuous haste. Then Laertes in righteous head. The rabble, they cry out to him, Laertes shall be king. Caps and hands, they cry, Laertes king! Laertes king!
The doors are broke.
Oh, vile king! Give me my father!
Calmly, calmly, good Laertes.
What is the cause? Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like. Let him go, Gertrude. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude.
Where
Speak, man.
is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How can he dead? I will not be juggled with. I dare damnation, and I will be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
Not all the world.
Tell me, Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is't written your revenge that you'll do battle with both friend and foe?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
Well, to his good friends thus wide I open my arms.
Aye, now you speak like a true child and a good gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment as daggers to your eye.
How now? What noise is this? Oh, heat, dry up my brains. Tears 7 times sulphur the sense of virtue from mine eye. My heavens, our madness shall be paid in weight till our scale turn the beam. O Rose of Maid, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. My heavens, is it possible for a young maid's wits to be as mortal as an old man's life?
They bore him barefaced on the bier, and on his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits, didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
There is rosemary. That is for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. And here is pansies. That is for thoughts.
A documented madness. Thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There is fennel for you and columbines, and here is rue for you, and there's some for me, and I would give you violets, but they all withered when my father died. They say he made a good end. And will he not come again? Will he not come again? No. No, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed, he will never come again. His beard was white as snow. All flaxen was his poll, and he is gone. He is gone. And we cast away moan, God have mercy on his soul, and on all Christian souls, I pray God. God be with you.
Do you see this?
Laertes,
Oh God!
I must commune with your grief, for you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we call ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we will jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let it be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no sword or trophy or henchman or his bones or noble right or formal ostentation. Let the cry be heard. 'Tis from heaven to earth that I call in question.
It shall be. And where the offense is, let the axe fall. Let's follow him, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage, I fear now I will start up again.
What are they that would speak with me?
Seafaring men, sir, they have a message for you.
Let them come in. I do not know from what part of the world I should be greeted, if not from Lord Hamlet.
God bless you, sir.
Let him bless thee too.
He shall, sir. Can't please him. I have a letter for you, sir. It comes from the ambassador that was bound for England, if your name be Horatio, as I am let to know it is.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me with mercy, but they know what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell, Hamlet. Come, I will show thee to the king. Speedier that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Laertes. Now, you must put me in your heart for friend, since you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he who hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
Oh, well, it appears, but tell me, why proceed not against these fates, so criminal and capital in nature?
'Tis for the love the Danish people bear him converts his faults to graces, so that my arrows, too tightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again and not where I had aimed them.
And now I have a noble father lost, a sister driven to desperate turns, but my revenge will come.
How now? What news?
This is from Hamlet, sir. Letters for the Majesty and his queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Seafaring men, sir. I did not see.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked upon your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I'll recount the more strange occasion of my sudden return. Hamlet. What does this mean?
You knoweth the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, but can you advise me in this?
I am lost in it, but let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thou didst thou.
Laertes, will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, if you don't overrule me to peace.
To thine own peace. I will work him to an exploit, now ripe in my device, under the which he should not choose, but fall. And his death, even his mother would call it accident.
Aye, my lord. I'll be ruled the rather, if you devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of in your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing for a quality wherein they say you shine. Your martial art, and for your rapier most especially, 'tis cried out 'twould be a sight indeed if one could match you. Sir, this report of you did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming o'er to play with you. Now, out of this...
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you, or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why, you ask this.
What wouldst thou undertake, indeed, more than in words, to show yourself your father's son?
To cut his throat in at the church.
The revenge should have no bounds, but, good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned shall know you are come home. We will put on those shall praise your excellence and put a wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the swords, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose an untipped sword, and in a passive practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an ointment of mountebank, so mortal, but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no man will be saved from death. But scratched withal, if I dip my point in this contagion, and if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
If this should fall, and that our plans show through our bad performance, 'twere better not assayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second, that might hold if this did blast in proof. But soft, let me see. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and then he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a wine goblet, whereon he but sipping, if by chance he escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. But stay, what noise? Oh, how now, sweet lady?
One woe doth tread upon another's heels, and so fast they follow. Your sister is drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There is a willow grows aslant a brook.
chose as hoar leaves in the glassy stream, and there with fantastic garlands did she come, of crowflowers and nettles and daisies and long purples. And there, on the pendant boughs, her coronet weeds clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke, and down her weedy trophies and herself fell into the weeping brook. And her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like, and wild they bore her up, during which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like some creature that is native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be before her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, she is drowned.
Drowned.
Too much water hast thou, poor Ophelia. Thus I forbid my tears. Adieu, my lord. This, I have a speech of fire that would fain, but this folly drowns it.
I must go with him.
She to be buried in Christian burial, where she willfully takes her own life.
Until she is, therefore make her grave straight. The corner has set on her and finds it a Christian burial.
How can it be, unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Wait, tu penses ça?
It must be self-defense. It cannot be else. Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If a man go into this water and drown himself, he goes willy-nilly. He goes, well, mark it that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argo, he that is not guilty of his own life, shortens not his own life.
Will you have the truth? If this had not been a gentlewoman, she would have been buried out on Christian burial.
Why there thou sayest? And no more pity that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves more than the likes of us. Come, my spade. We hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
He was the first that ever bore arms.
Why, he had none.
What are the heathen? How does thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Can he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee. And if you answer not to thy purpose, then confess thyself. Who builds stronger? A mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
I cannot tell.
Conjure your brain no more about it. The next time you're asked this question, you say a grave maker. The houses he builds last until doomsday. Now give me my stupid liquor.
Does fellow no knowledge of the business that he sings at a grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
'Tis even so, the hand of little employment hath a daintier sense. I will speak to him. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
It's mine, sir.
Who's to be buried in it?
Well, no man, sir.
Well, what woman then?
None neither.
Well, who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, but rest her soul, she's dead.
Absolute the knave is. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Every day of the year. I came to it the very year that young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent into England.
Why was he sent to England?
Why, sir? He's a mad. It shall recover his wits there. But if he does not, then it's no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There the manner as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
By losing his wits.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith. If it be not rotten before I die, as we have many pocket corpses nowadays that scarce can hold the laying in, I will last 8 or 9 years. A Taran will last you 9 years.
Why he more than any other?
Why, sir? Why, his hide is so tanned with his trade that it keeps out the water a great while. And your water's a sore decay if you're a dead body. Let's see here. Hey, here's the skull now. Hey, this one's been laying in the earth some 23 years.
Whose was it?
Whose do you think it was?
I know not.
This same skull was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
Even that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of most infinite jest and excellent fancy, who bore me on his back 1,000 times. Where be your jibes now, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning. Here come the king, the queen, and the courtiers.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth. Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, and but that great command oversways the order, she should in ground unsanctified have lodged until the last trumpet.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead and sing a requiem and such rest to her as to peace-parted souls.
Lie her in the earth, and from her fair, unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel my sister shall be when thou liest howling.
The fair Ophelia.
Sweets to the sweet, farewell. I hoped thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, not to have strewed thy grave.
Oh, terrible woe. Fall 10 times terrible on that cursed head. Deprave of thee, hold the earth off a while till I've caught her once more in mine arms.
Whose grief would bear such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow would conjure the stars and make them stand like wonder-wounded healers. This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
Will the devil take thy soul!
Hamlet! Hamlet!
Pluck them asunder!
My lord, be quiet.
Why, I will fight him on this theme until my eyes no longer wag.
My son, what theme?
I love Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with their quantity of love make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her? Would weep, would fight, would tear thyself, would eat a crocodile, drink vinegar. I'll do it. I'll do it. But it is no more. Let Hercules do what he will do. The dog will mew, the cat will have his day.
I pray you, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see, till then in patience our proceeding be.
There is a divinity that shapes our ends. Rough view them how we will.
That is most certain.
In my heart, there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me, I fingered their packet and did unseal, Horatio, a royal knavery, their grand commission. Do you know what it said?
No, my lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king that when I was to England, that my head should be struck off. Here is the commission.
Is it possible?
Wilt thou hear how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
I wrote out a new commission, and from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, and saying that upon receiving the contents of this letter, the bearers be struck to put death.
How is this sealed?
Why, Horatio, even that was in heaven ordinate. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the copy of the Danish seal. I subscribed it, I emplaced it, and the bearers never knowing the difference.
So Rosencrantz and Guildenstern go to it?
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. Their death is not near to my conscience. Their defeat by their own insinuation grows.
Why, what a king is this?
He killed my father, whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes. Is it not right for me to quit him with this arm?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
In short time, believe me, and to Horatio, I'm sorry, I forgot myself to Laertes. I do apologize.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your lordship is right. Welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you. Dost thou know this waterfly?
No, my lord.
If I may impart on your leisure, sir, I have brought a message, a thing from His Majesty.
I will humbly receive it.
Thank you, my lord.
Put on thou bonnet, 'tis good for the head.
'Tis a bit warm, my lord.
No, it is very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But I think it is very hot and sultry for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord! It is sultry! Nay, my good lord. I must tell you that the king, his majesty, has placed a wager upon your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember.
Surely you know newly come to court Laertes?
For he is an absolute gentleman. If I can speak so feelingly of him. He is a card or a calendar of a gentry of what a man would be.
His definement suffers no perdition in you. And to define him inventorially is to dozy the arithmetic of memory, though you speak very highly of him.
You speak most infallibly of him, my lord. Of Laertes. For they say his weapon is unfellowed.
What is his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons.
Sir, the king hath placed a wager upon your head that with 6 Barbary horses, Laertes has imponed that between you there are 12 passes. He could exceed you 3 hits. And if you are 12-4-9, then it should come to immediate trial if you vouchsafe the answer.
Well, tell his majesty that it is the very breathing time of day for me. Let the swords be brought. I will win for him at odds, and if I do not win, I will gain nothing but shame in the odd hits.
Shall I deliver you even so?
I beseech you.
Well, I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I will not. Since he has been in France, I have been in continual practice.
Nay, good, my lord.
Horatio, it is troubling nonetheless, though.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
If it be not now, it may not come. And if it is not to come, then it be not now. If it be not to come, then it is not to come. The readiness is all. It's the readiness.
My lord, His Majesty sends to know if your pleasure hold to play with Laertes or that you will take longer time.
I am in continual practice. Let him come. If he wants to do it now, I will do it now. Later, be later.
The king and queen and all are coming down.
Oh, in happy time.
The queen desires you to use some gentle entertainment to Laertes before you fall to play.
She well instructs me.
Hamlet, take this hand from me.
Gentlemen, pardon me, for I'm sure by now you have heard that I am punished with sore distraction. Was Hamlet wrong, Laertes? Never Hamlet, it is but madness. Yet free me from your gracious thoughts, or from any purposed evil, for I've shot the arrow over my house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, and I do receive your love like love, and I will not wrong it.
This brother's wager frankly play. Come, the swords.
Come, one from me. Give them the swords, young Osric. Hamlet, know you the wager?
Your grace has laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both. But since he is better, we have therefore odds.
This one's too heavy. Let me see another.
This one likes me well. These swords have all a length.
Aye, my lord.
If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit an answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. And the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath. And in the cup in union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cup. And let the trumpet to the cannons speak, the cannons to the heavens without, heaven to earth. Now we play, and you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come, Laertes.
Come, my lord.
A hit, judgment.
A hit. A palpable hit.
The king drinks to your health. Give him the cup.
I will drink by and by.
Another hit, what say you? A touch, I do confess.
Your son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Hamlet, Hamlet, take my napkin, wipe thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good, madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord, I pray you pardon me.
Tis the poison cup, it is too late.
I'll hit him now, my lord.
Come for a third, Laertes, you bedally!
I'll come, say you! Love you!
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is Laertes?
Why is a woodcock to my own spring? Yorick, Osric, I am justly killed by my own treachery.
How does the queen?
Oh, she swoons to see them bleed.
No, the drink. The drink. Hamlet, the drink. I am poisoned.
Without treachery, seek it out, let the doors be locked!
No, it is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. There's no medicine in the world will do thee good. In thee there's not that half an hour of life left. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, and baited and in venom. And the foul practice hath turned against me. Lo, I lie here never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned, and I can no more. The king is to blame.
Is point in venom too? Then venom to thy work!
Don't yet defend me, friends, I am but hurt.
Treason!
He is justly
Incestuous, murderous, damn it, Dane, drink off this cup, follow my mother!
He is justly served. A poison tempered by himself. Come, exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Thine and my father's death are not upon thee, nor thy on me.
I'll follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, adieu. You look pale and tremble at this chance. Had I but time. This fell sergeant death is in his strict arrest. I am dead, Horatio. Report my cause a right to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I'm more an antique Roman than a Dane. There's yet some liquor left.
I'll have it. Horatio, what a wounded name thou wouldst leave behind. The poison overgrows my spirit. The rest is silence.
No. Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and may flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?
Ambassadors from England and Norway.
Where is this sight?
What is it you will see? if aught of woe or wonder sees your search.
This quarry cries on havoc, O proud death. What feast is in thine eternal cell that so many princes at a shot so bloodily has struck? The sight is dismal, and our fares from England come too late. Where hast thou gone? Where hast thou struck this time?
Not from these matters, but since, Ambassador, you are from Norway here arrived, give order that these bodies high on a stage be placed to the view, and let me speak to the unknowing world how these things came about. All this I can truly deliver.
Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to audience. For me, with much sorrow, I accept my fortune. I have some rights and memories of this kingdom, which now to claim my vengeance doth invite me.
That I shall have also cause to speak. Now, whilst men's minds are wild, lest morn's chance on plots and errors happen, the 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage. For had he been put on, he would have proved most royal. And for his passage, the soldier's rights of war speak loudly for him.
Take up the bodies. Go. Bid the soldiers shoot.